We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Bobby. All right. Bobby's front left-right speakers will be roughly 7 feet apart. And he's read that in-ceiling Atmos speakers should be in the same distance apart as the front speakers, but will it matter much if they're a little closer together, say 6 feet instead of 7? No.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're fine with that. I mean, as long as you're sitting in between them.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, and this is, I don't know if this question comes up here, but I remember reading it at some point. Somebody was going to use like a sound bar for like the left. That was
last
center,
week. Yeah.
Okay. But you're still going to want to put the Atmos on either side of the couch, so that you don't want to line it right up with that. That would be silly.
Yeah, similar advice to what we said last week, which is if you go by Dolby's recommendation, your front left-right speakers should be somewhere between 22.5 to 30 degrees to the left and right of straight-ahead center. So you go straight-ahead center, call that 0 degrees, go minus 22.5 to minus 30 for your front left speaker, go plus 22.5 to plus 30 for your front right speaker. Now that creates a range of distances between your front left and right speaker. The Atmos speakers should be within that same range. But if it turns out that your front speakers are closer to 30 degrees left and right, and your Atmos speakers are closer to 22.5 degrees left and right, that's still okay. They're still within the ranges where they ought to be. So that's how to look at that.
Okay. So he says he was about to, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. He was about to pull the trigger on a pair of Klipsch R14 surrounds, which have dual tweeters and a single woofer in a half-moon shaped cabinet that mounts flush on the wall. But then he noticed the Gallery G12 model that is super flat. Should he get the G12 instead? What is he talking about here? For the surrounds or for the Atmos?
Surrounds. For the surrounds.
Okay, you can do either, I think, but it really feel like the gallery ones is more in line with what Atmos is now saying, or Dolby is now saying that you should be getting.
I mean, I was thinking there are different series from his front left right speakers.
Where are his front ones again? I forgot.
Those were
It doesn't say.
The reference bookshelf speakers. We've talked to Bobby several times in the past. So.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah,
the reference book. So the R14s would be in the same series, right?
They're in the same series, yeah. He wanted something that could wall mount and wouldn't have to go on a bracket to stick out. So that's why the dedicated surround speakers are an attractive option there. I'm leaning towards staying with that because it's got the same horn, it's got the same woofer, it's got the same tweeter.
But if he's got an option that's not, sort
it's
of
a completely different
widest
series. I mean, it's not even really a.
I'm saying within the reference series.
Oh,
too.
within the reference series.
Within the reference series. I mean, because you're right. I didn't know that these were completely.
Yeah, I mean, there's
models.
really only the bookshelf speaker, and then you'd have to put it on a wall mount, a wall bracket. He was hoping for something that can just flush.
If you
mount.
want to make sure that your timbre matched all the way around, I think that sticking with the reference series makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't think it's unfortunate.
Well, I don't either. I guess what I'm saying is that.
But yeah, I'm leaning that way. Stay within the same series if you can.
Yeah. So we decided to go with a 92-inch 16:9 screen. How high should the bottom of that screen be above the floor? He'll be sitting 11 feet away, single row of seats, no riser.
Mm-hmm.
So single 96. I don't know.
So the THX recommendation is that you start with where you're sitting, and you get your resting eye line, which, keep in mind, might not be perfectly parallel to the ground. Especially if you have a recliner, your resting eye line might be at a slight upward angle.
Yeah.
But get your resting eye line, and wherever your resting eye line would hit the front wall or hit your screen, then go 15 degrees above that. That's the maximum height where it ought to be. That's THX's recommendation. Now, it doesn't have to be that high. That's just the highest it should be, according to THX's recommendation. The other common recommendation is to just have your eyes about even with 1/3 of the height of the screen. So have 2/3 of the screen above your eye line and 1/3 of the screen below your eye line. So if we take all that into account, a 92-inch screen is 45 inches tall. We're going to assume a normal eye line height of about 36 inches off the ground. So that means the bottom of the screen should be between 10 to 15 inches lower than that, which means 21 to 26 inches above the floor. So roughly 2 feet above the floor, in this case, is where the bottom edge of the screen should be. Now, that's the actual screen. Keep in mind that you have the frame of the screen. However tall that is, usually on a projection screen, that's 2.5 or 3 inches. So if you're trying to make sure that your center channel is going to fit below it or something, make sure you do account for the width of the frame. But basically roughly 2 feet off the ground for the bottom edge of the image itself.
The other option is, especially if it's a fixed frame, even if it's not fixed frame, if it's pulled down or whatever, is just to get it and hold it up there and sit down and go, I like it right there, mark it.
Yep. Or you don't even need the screen for that. If you have the projector before you have the screen, you can just project the image on there, especially if you have vertical lens shift. You just move it until it's at a comfortable place and you go, that's where I should put my screen.
Yeah, I'm sort of in that camp. You know, what I did with my screen that's currently behind me, it's too low. It is too low, but it is as high as I could make it without my projector hitting the fan.
Right.
I had to take the globe thing off there, so now it's just naked bulbs up there. I need to take the entire light thing and maybe get a
so
smaller fan.
Basically your projector is as high as it can be, because there's a fan that would start blocking its image otherwise, and then that let you figure out where your screen needs to be in relation to that.
That's right. And again, I did the exact same thing you just talked about. I just projected the image on the screen and then marked it.
Yep.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.